All right, guys, we actually have 2 weeks to the day when Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, will be released to the world. And boy, I must say, I have no interest in this movie whatsoever. But however, I'm going to go see it just to give a review on the movie. J.J. Abrams just finished making this movie about a week ago, and now all of the buzz is starting to come out for the wrong reasons. And J.J. Abrams has pretty much confirmed what we have already known about this movie. It's going to be woke, completely full of wokeness, SJW, and he's on record saying this. Now, J.J. Abrams didn't want to say anything about the story, but he wanted to make it very, very clear that there would be alphabet community representation in this movie. Wow. J.J. Abrams is talking about representation and not story. Does this sound like a broken record? It does, because this is Hollywood 2019. Representation is all that matters. Let's not even talk about story. Now, he did pretty much confirm that Poe and Finn will not be lovers. Shocker to no one, really, because we all knew that they weren't going to be in a relationship. There was nothing in The Force Awakens that made anyone think that those two guys were going to be in love with each other. No way in the world. This is just SJWs making up stuff. And of course, you know, Oscar Isaac and John Boyega, they're like, oh, it's kind of disappointing or whatever that they're not. Trust me, you guys did not want to see Finn and Poe become lovers. It didn't make any sense because there was nothing set up in The Force Awakens about them being lovers. This is nothing more than pandering to SJWs, who, by the way, don't even care about Star Wars to begin with. But J.J. Abrams, he's on record and he's saying this. Look, this is what he said. He says, look more the way the world looks than not. And in the case of the LGBT community, it was important to me that people who go see this movie feel they are being representative in the film. Okay, this is a Star Wars movie. This is a make-believe universe. Why in the world we have to feel like we're represented in the movie? I don't care about being represented in this movie. It's Star Wars. I want it to be different. It's a galaxy far, far away. If everything had to be the way it is on Earth, then why do we have aliens in Star Wars? Why do we actually have droids? There is no C-3PO and R2-D2 in the real world. George Lucas created this universe so it would not be directly like the world we live in. Now, is it inspired by real world events from history? Yeah. I mean, the Empire is based off of Nazi Germany. But I don't want to feel like I have to be represented in the movie. I don't. Because if I wanted Star Wars to feel like the real world, why would I actually go see Star Wars? Because I'm living in this world anyway. That doesn't make Star Wars special. And J.J. Abrams doesn't get it. And he goes on to say this. I will say I'm giving away nothing about what happens in the movie, but I did just say what I just said. So he wants you to know that this will be an SJW woke fest. It just will be. Now, Jason Ward kind of covered this a little bit about a month or so ago. And there will be alphabet community representation. Jason Ward said that, and it's going to be something kind of subtle. It's supposed to be at the end of the movie. It's supposed to be when they're celebrating because, you know, copy and paste J.J. Abrams is going to recreate the celebration from Return of the Jedi. In this case, it's going to be 2 resistance fighters. They're women. They're supposed to be lesbians or whatever, and they're going to kiss. 2 characters that we know nothing about. So that's your representation on screen. Now, what gets me is all of this pandering to and all these agendas and everything like that. We keep hearing that Star Wars is for kids. So why are you trying to sexualize Star Wars? Tell me that. Kids don't need to be exposed to, you know, sexual representation on screen. It was never meant to be that way. That's really what separates Disney Star Wars from what George Lucas intended Star Wars to be. This is not going to be anything like what George Lucas intended. Disney Star Wars is something completely different. It's something that a lot of us can't relate to. Remember, most of the Star Wars fans do not care about agendas, but you can tell that Kathleen Kennedy's hands are all over this movie. All over this movie for the wrong reasons. And J.J. Abrams, he's going to give you what Kathleen Kennedy wants, not necessarily what's best for Star Wars. Representation. We've been hearing this for so long. Think of this, every single movie that got woke this year, they all went broke. Getting woke and trying to fill out agendas does not work for movies. Give us good stories. That's all we care about. Nobody cares about any of this other stuff. But J.J. Abrams, we knew this was coming. Same thing he did with Star Trek. He made Sulu gay when the character was never gay. Gene Roddenberry never intended for Sulu to be gay. He was actually married with a kid. And even George Takei, who played Sulu, was against it. But J.J. Abrams did it anyway, so he can pander to SJWs. So now he's doing the exact same thing in Star Wars. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? J.J. Abrams confirming that Star Wars Episode 9 will be woke. Completely woke. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me. And we will catch you on the next video. John Matrix, out.